610.
Shit, we're about to open in a minute. Now we're open.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
800%. You just went Joker.
Beautiful open.
That was ridiculous. I got filled at 70 for some of those.
Yeah, I got 72. Tried to get 80, but got 70.
63 and 70 on mine.
Now we need to hold and then rip.
Mm-hmm.
It's sitting on pre-market high right now, so that's good.
How about 575% on the 4150s?
Good shit.
No wonder you're so happy. It's the life. You gotta know your calendar days about incidents.
Progress.
Do you have DoorDash like little chip or something for 5 days or something?
One more dash. You want some good meat?
Um. They're free.
We get the AVGO calls.
Did you just say the word, dude? Getting canceled. Is that what you support, dude? What the fuck?
My contracts just went in the money. That was all.
Yep. We went in the money at open, got all out, and I was done.
Nice.
I only had I only had 15. The lower season, it's the ones that are like $30, $40 that like I need one day. If they don't move, they go to zero. I've been burnt like that a couple times, so
Mm.
took it a little easier.
That's good.
Is that before or after you smack him in the head?
Delicioso.
Bro.
Roll Tide, bro. That's where that's from? Holy shit. He said, ain't nothing but the tide. That shit is fucking funny. Couple guys
I
are
have-
going to they said.
I have one runner till next week, till next Friday at 41.
Yeah, I have a runner for I have a position for next week too.
Got both. I got this week's and next week's.
Got the 42s for next week. I sold most of them at $70.
He doesn't do that to you guys? He's skimping out, dude. Anytime I take a loss, dude, I just edit an extra video and it makes up.
And you're fired.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're fired. You're fired.
You know he's not.
Ivy, you know what to do. You know what? Let Alex get his first ban. Here you go, Alex.
No. Please.
Stress free, man.
This was very pretty. Very nice.
Very
Very
nice.
demure.
Where's Chris?
Come on, BA.
Yo, somebody tell YouTube to hold on. Rogue, stop meowing.
Hold on, YouTube.
Hold up, YouTube.
You're welcome. I'll add a video on for that one.
You can pay me out later for that.
There you
Oh, no, there it is. Hey. There it is. What's up, y'all? Sorry about that. I didn't realize my shit was not working. Yeah. Whew. Hey, Blake. Look at you, man. Not bad, dude.
Hey, Potter, can you look at the video for end of the day? Or like...
You want you want me to speed up time, bro?
No, right now.
Could you let me know what NVIDIA looks like in a few months?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we got our
Hey,
610
watch
on
the
the
VA, dude.
spy. All of us 610ers got it.
Nice job, guys.
Yeah, 400%.
Look at that. Punch back.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful punch back into new highs, man. Come on, man. Look at the cues. Piece of shit.
Is anybody in BA? Did anybody else take BA?
Oh, because we don't take signals here, bucko.
All right, you know what? Fine. I'll just BA myself over here.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I got BA for next week.
So NVIDIA went and tapped this wall perfectly, filling up the rest of the empty space. It has now pulled itself back into the box. So there might be a chance that you actually lose this floor. Watch 146 lost. Cost basis at 145.22. It's gotta get itself back up. And that's probably gonna be solved down here. Oof. So you popped fast and you're dumping fast. So underneath that green candle, yeah. They're gonna keep sinking it.
Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for 150 calls on those.
Look at Toast fighting. Okay, Toast.
Toast going crazy.
Toast is fucking perfectly golden brown.
Toasters don't toast. Toast.
Toast isn't toasted by its own toast, though. Toast is toasted by a toaster.
Yeah, but toasters toast.
Which is why I'd put the bread in the toast to toast the toast.
Do I gotta tickle? But the toaster with the... All right, we're done.
News
Let's
is about
go,
to hit.
bro.
It's a good feeling,
Right,
man.
how's your toast?
This is the best feeling in the
News is
world,
out.
man.
Yo,
News
you
is
look at Trivago.
What the fuck? What's the ticker on that, bro?
CRVG.
There you go, Toast. CRVG. Wait, I got that wrong.
T is in Tom. CRVG.
Yo, I just looked up my fucking P&L on PLTR, dude. Holy shit. Jesus.
I'm having a hard time trimming all these profits. Have to go back and forth to so many good plays. It's crazy.
TRVG.
I would keep an eye on Shopify.
That's cool, bro. That was what, 300%?
Can you spell that?
More.
Yeah, I'm up. It's tickling both. The spread's a little whack right now, but we're deep. deep in the money. Wow, man. What a
Love that.
fucking perfect trade, bro.
Love that.
All right. Again, Cade, what the fuck are you asking me?
T
Uh-huh.
is in
Nope,
pickle.
don't do that.
All right, RVG.
All right, there you go. I hate when people spell things out. Oh, Lord have mercy. You just need to clear that wick or find out what's in it. Where the
That's
fuck?
interesting. It's interesting how much empty space on that weekly is. I know
Okay.
there's structure on the way down, but it's in the lower time frames.
So right here at 309, that's what needs to be broken. Then you can clear that wick. So theoretically, you know, someone could take their money on Toast and come back at the end of the day. And that's it. Do it again.
That's what I'm doing. Thank you, Butter.
Yep. Yep.
What I'm doing.
Yeah, dude, these calls are just absolutely ripping now.
Hey Garrett, so real quick on like in this situation, spies like all-time highs, keys
Mhm.
are trying to get up there. From your experience, what do you expect? Maybe just waiting for a pullback on Monday,
For Qs or for what?
just for the overall market. I mean, mostly ETFs, obviously.
Man,
I think
I don't go against the grain unless I have a reason to. So as far as I'm concerned, we're trading SPY and it's going to try to go to the top of its channel. Right? If it hits, you know, there's going to be like 615 psychological number right above us. Come on, Toast, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Dude, Google just punched through 200.
No shit.
Yeah, I picked up some more 202s at 9 cents this morning, and they just ripped.
But yeah, I don't, I'm not one to, if we're ripping up and just punched out, like I'm not one to take a short, especially at all-time highs.
No, I mean it's not like saying it short, but like, would you like, let's say you have no positions on
Mm-hmm.
Monday, like, for example, would you just sit and wait and see how the market reacts moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a element of mystery that is applied whenever we have our ETF in all-time highs. Like that's where, yeah, it kind of is day by day for me, because I have to do most of my analysis on lower time frames to kind of see where we're at or where we're going. Come on, Toast, fucker.
There goes AVGO.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Jesus
16
Christ.
and 85 cents.
Today's a money making day.
Yes, it is. Take your money and run. Dude, swingers fucking on pineapple upside down, baby.
You
On
on
these
YouTube right
stocks. Yeah. MasterCard's in the middle of a huge 24-hour punchback, my guy. So you're looking for a move outside of 537.
These Qs, 535s are hitting.
They're at 90 cents, dude. Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
there you go, Toast. God damn, bro.
Did you get all the way out, Jorge?
Huh?
Rudders, baby.
Did you get all the way out?
Paid 11 cents for my AVGO. They're at 40 cents.
Sorry, I can't hear you. What'd you say?
You got, yeah. Are you still in?
I have some runners.
Yeah, good.
I have 2 runners. But
I just got rid of mine, unfortunately.
600%.
Yeah, I sold my last two runners at 90 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, aim for the 42s today or whatever on your runners. If you guys have that, I mean, not financial advice, but
David B, no, I don't usually ride options, if ever.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, brother.
Hey, man.
Hey,
I
Derek,
didn't have
just to
charger.
let you know, I had something weird today. I had one toast. The open, Robinhood automatically sold it.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
brother.
Why?
Yeah.
For
At
how
the
much?
open, I don't know. It was just like a flash. I saw the price and then it sold.
Because they're a great broker.
Yeah.
I put an order in for $100 for those 40/50s, and I just got filled.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's fucking weird, y'all. We're all on the same wavelength. I had just hit the sell button for 100. Well, 102, but they didn't take it.
Oh, y'all getting puts the opposite way.
I grabbed like a few of the 3950s, but I'm not. Right now we're good.
25 of the 4050s, and then I picked up 15 of the 42s for next week. They were more expensive, so
yeah.
I've only been trimming off my 4050s, and I just trimmed my first trim on 42s.
So just to throw this out there, if you had $370 yesterday, you'd have a market value on your position right now at $2,500.70 or $2,500.
Hey, Garrett, how many contracts do you have left?
I have 25.
Oh, so you still have a lot of your position left. But...
Yeah. I just hit the sell order, so I'm wrong. I have 15 left. I'm sorry. I literally just sold them. Yeah, so at 100.
I was just curious.
Some idiot just bought them.
I think that was American Dream.
All right, everybody, get in toast. Here, have our contracts. Rogue, stop meowing at me. I feel like you know I'm making money right now.
Everybody hit the Benjamin on 3. Fuck, I love going into the weekend like this, man. Feeling like I need a bottle or something.
Wow, that was awesome. We just sold those contracts, and they're just pulling back now.
I know all about your mucus this morning, Potter.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
I've heard exactly the path that your snot's taking through your nasal cavity.
Okay. Keeping track of weird shit there, dude.
About that at night.
I sold the rest.
572% on my AVGO.
Jesus, bro.
Almost at 1,000% on AVGO.
Good lord.
Potter,
where was Fallout?
how do I
actually
stop
did
being
have to call
afraid
a
of
testy.
How do I stop being afraid of my gains? What do you mean? Are you getting
All right, there's
nervous?
1,000%.
Or are you just having a hard talk to me a little bit more, Day? Yeah, 536% on AVGO. Beautiful, guys.
I just finally sold my Schwab $80 call that I've held.
Yeah, saw
Sold
this.
for
It went back
300
up.
bucks. Yeah, I still got my 84s and 85s for next week.
Can you just touch the floor? Toast.
I think I'm good for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back later.
I'm up almost 100% on my NU.
I could have gotten more out of Toast, but I was terrified. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of answers in that I can't answer. You have to dig down and be like, what am I scared of? And that answer might take a second for you to figure it out. But I think that my temperament is built up from, I mean, maybe close to thousands of these trades now. You know, I've done this now so many times that when you put yourself into these situations where you know better, right? It hasn't hit in your target. You play from A to B, right? This was the first trim target, and because of the way that it's dealing with it, you know, obviously we can, you know, take most of the profit off of the table if we see a sign that that's what needs to be done. But in these situations where me wanting to hold this, right, is because there's been situations where I didn't, and then I watched it go straight to my target, and I get frustrated, right? And so that's how I figured. I mean, that I tempered myself, I guess if you could say, because I know the outcome. Like my strategy comes first, right? And when I look at the chart and I see like, okay, this is what's, you know, being signaled here, and then I get out early, it's disappointing and I get frustrated with myself. And so it's those situations that make me want to do something about it. I'm like, I can't. Nah, fuck that. That's not acceptable. I just missed 75% of my trade. Why? So, keep putting yourself in these situations and just remember this. We are trading from point A to point B, right? Yesterday, or not yesterday, the beginning of the week, where I took Apple, right? It went halfway to the target, got stopped out, and so did I. And I felt good about that because I'm not. I told myself that I'm taking it from point A to point B, and it didn't go there. So I felt good. Actually, after I got out of that trade for a small loss, I was like, I did exactly what I should have done. There's nothing different I would change about that. So.
Same. I wasn't even bummed that I didn't trim when it was up like 100% yesterday. I just such a small loss, man. It didn't go where we wanted to go, and
That's it. That's it. Keep it moving, and knowing that toast, or another play is around the corner. It's like we do this every week. We do this every week. There's with this strategy, right? In particular, there is absolutely insane things that we are able to do with small amounts of money or light risk, and you can go through the games page and see that. You can see that the consistency with these numbers. So it's like it's just a matter of time. But are you going to make it? Are you going to last that long? Because there's going to be Apples and, Walgreens and different plays that, maybe they don't work out, but that doesn't mean that you take profit sooner next time. Like I was really actually happy to not hear people be like, oh, I should have taken profit on Apple. They were like, oh, it didn't go to our target. That makes me, I could be a prouder teacher. It's like, while other people might look at us like we're crazy, right? We're operating on a different rule set here because the rules are based around what the strategy provides. I'm taking this from this point to this point. Well, it didn't go there. It's fading. It's going back to my entry. Stop loss. Get out. It's at the trigger now. Breaks out. You take your trade. Next day, gaps up straight to your target. You get out, it falls. Beautiful. So like this toast is just another example of, and this one was kind of when it creeps up like that, right? The significance in change in price. We went from 400% to 600% with that small little wick up. Which is why I said yesterday, if we did by chance, which that chance is going away right now as we speak, but I've got 3950s, by the way, if anybody's wondering. I said that already, but 3950s, I'm going to let those run down if we dump. So BA's paying. Wow, yeah, it did exactly that. Nice job, guys. Perfect. You guys crushed that trade. It has maybe
I like where Google's at, too.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, how does it look on the daily? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. Thanks, man. Give me a hug. Air hug right here, bro. Yeah, I'm tired of losing money. This is my first screen trade after a bunch of losing lately from not being more decisive enough at executing in the moment.
Slap ass.
So I want you to role play like an employee. All right, I'm hiring you. You're hired. I didn't even read your application. Your job.
How many vacation days do I get?
You get none. You work every day. Hard.
Do I get maternity leave?
Definitely not. That baby comes to work with you, dude. Baby has hands, doesn't it? But if I was to hire you, right? I'm telling you that your job in these scenarios is to take the price, right? At the end of the day, from point A to point B, right? So through the empty space, maybe the imbalance is a reasonable target, and then beyond that is your next target. So can I get a bonus? You gotta Got to get profitable first. Yo, and then peep this, y'all. Those contracts, I just sold out of Toast, but those contracts just went down to 59%. We just sold them at 600+%. And in 2 minute, 5-minute candles, or 1 15-minute candle, it's all gone.
Hey Potter, would you mind checking a chart real quick?
Sure, what's up?
Can you check Philip Morris on the 20?
What is that one? PM, that's right. Oh, yeah. So you're not moving to like quintessential empty space right now, at least on the 24-hour. No, on the 4-hour, it's like you're dealing with that right now. Little box, 126.66, cost basis 127.10. Big strong rip. So the goal here would be for sure. So let's find out what do you need to hold. So on the hourly, we'll bring this down. The box gets adjusted. So if you were to pull back, it gets me so geeked up when I see this. That is dead slap center. That's the imbalance. But also the floor. So if PM comes back down, Philip Morris comes back down, 126.12 would be your bounce. You want to see it bounce there. If it doesn't, there's a good chance you're coming back down. So,
yeah, I had that 24-hour box that you moved out to that you like immediately pulled away. Like, was there any reason for that, by the way?
The 24-hour box?
Yeah, you like pulled it. Yeah, the one that was right in there to the left. Yep.
Like this one?
Yes, sir.
It's already been punched through.
Okay, so it kind of like negates the
right. So let me explain what happens in these scenarios, right? We understand that the majority of the volume is at the 50% mark, which means that buyers need to respond to that. And you'll see how they do, right? You'll take the wall, you'll drop it at the top right here, and you'll see it bounces and tries to go and pull itself up on something. And you can see by that candle right there that it has the volume here is not even close to being strong enough to pull it back up, right? Sellers are too strong, pressure's too strong. And so the volume that's held within this is distributed down, right? So when you come back up, while those price targets could still be relevant, i.e. here, right? Because that's a floor. A floor is a floor, right? And you go and you try to reclaim that floor. So we know that once that gets reclaimed, that's where we continue moving up. Now, when we look at the most recent price action, there's nothing here, right? So while these price points at the top and the bottom will still carry over, right? We can see, and here's what the coolest part of this is. If this wasn't here, I would still have the same lines, right? I would still have this line and that line. But these candles, right? I could take, so let me explain it like this. That is a box on a lower time frame. So I could take that punch back. That punch back gives me that floor. So by focusing on the most recent price action, I don't have to keep going back because I know that price going through it adjusts to the box, right? So like we bounce at the top. So now that's a floor that needs to be reclaimed as we're moving through. It's not the box I'm playing. It's the price's reaction to that box as it moves through it that I'm playing. Does that make sense?
It definitely does. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Can I look at AMD?
Can I ask you to look at one?
Yeah, for sure. No, you're okay. Go ahead. What is it?
SHLS, Shoals. And then how did you guys find Toast? I never heard of Toast until this morning. Never even saw this shit. I saw it before.
No, you're good, man. So, shit. I mean, Cade, we've been trading Toast for years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this one, I couldn't tell you the origin story to be honest with you. I think it was maybe Atlas. I'm not sure who it was, but somebody brought it up.
AJ brought it up.
That's right.
AJ has been in equity for like 3 years.
Yeah. So yeah, it just came from the chat, man. It's a payment processor. So had
Yeah,
some.
he got in early, low volume, just saw a nice upside, and then all of a sudden the volume started just pouring in, and they started getting contracts, and
Well, there's
their
also
earnings were really good.
one thing I was explaining last night is that because somebody asked me, do I use a scanner?
That's what I
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Sorry.
There goes Apple.
Otter's been pimping us out for scanners.
You use a scammer?
The scam. Everybody in this Discord, because I mean there is it's 130 people live right now, but there's over 400 people in here, and we're all looking for the exact same thing. And when you have that many eyes going around the market, we become the scanner. And so I haven't found a better one. I know that there's people in the Discord that use scanners, some of them that they already built, and they're looking for things that have stayed in range for like 56 weeks or, like things that have been falling for, the last couple of months. Like there's certain, empty space. I know somebody in here made us an actual scanner to look for empty space in particular. But with all those tools, we're kind of in a blessed position where it's like, if it looks good to me, because we're using the same strategy, it should look good to everybody. Everybody should be, if it's relevant to them or if they have the buying power, then, we are the scanner. So that's how we find a lot of our trades. Is just by people bringing them up. Hey, I just saw Toast has empty space. They'll have me take a look at it, and I'll be like, "Fuck yeah, let's take it." So,
Sentinel-1. I don't know if anybody got into that yesterday, but Sentinel-1's looking pretty good. Those 24s I got yesterday.
Okay, so real quick, AMD looks like it's testing that previous box. Yeah, so right now you're dealing with cost basis at 125.50 perfectly. It's not the most beautiful box I've ever seen in my life, but the goal here is going to move to the 4 hour. The goal here, everybody, is to take AMD through this box. That's your play if you're looking for this north, right? So above 125.65, you're going to have a 127.33 floor. You need to be above 128 to move to cost basis. Above cost basis 130, you would have an immediate 133.28, and that's where you get a bigger play up to 141. So, but as of right now, you're rejecting cost basis. Oh yeah. No, you're fine. 71.82. Let's try to go punch. That's a big handle right there.
Yeah, somebody asked me yesterday why I bought time on that one. And it's kind of showing that because even with earnings, it doesn't really like jump off the page. Actually, it usually takes time, but
it uses that liquidity. It like uses the like people go short on it and then they flip it and reverse it, and squeezes them out.
It's turning out to be a pretty good play right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's setting
up. Crazy. They missed revenue by 2.19 billion though.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a big miss.
Looks like it's coming down.
Still doing well.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, I put my chart for SHLS in the live trading chat. I don't know if you want to look at that or do it yourself. Either way works for me.
I'm charting it right now. Is this you said SHLS, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so as of right now, and this is from what I can tell, relatively low volume stock. It is more than likely going to punch back where you have obviously a great deal of empty space in front of you. And usually in these scenarios, I'll start looking for floors or like an imbalance. And that's really all I can see when I move down here to the 4 hour is this imbalance, which happens to translate quite well to that close and that open where you push directly off. And then there's a nice wick right here at 515. So on that punch back over 770 or 478, a little dyslexia there. That's where we were looking for a punch. Let me see. Is this for? Yeah, you're just clearing your wicks at 480. It's one of those stocks that has lower volume, so it's probably going to take maybe even overnight to gap you up above that. So right now you're doing a good job at holding cost basis. You know, it's hasn't lost anything yet. So by the end of the day, if it's by the end of the day, if it's closer up to that 478, then it doesn't look bad at all.
These toast puts, I got 40s for 15 cents earlier, and they're starting to move.
I have 39.50s, so let's see where we get.
Hey, real quick on NE.
Talking
yesterday when we were doing, you were talking the 73s and then going down below. So you're doing that and then watching which way is it gonna go that direction, breaking the floor, and then do you sell the opposite? So right now it's in the upside. Do you sell your puts or do you hold on to those?
I mean, Cade, I imagine he's doing the same thing everybody else is, but like if typically when we take earnings trades, we try to be so low risk, right? That if it does move in the opposite direction, yes, we do have an opportunity sometimes to cut. And that would be the most logical thing to do. But there are scenarios where maybe you put 300 on each side with the potential behind these trades, with a big punchback. You're looking at maybe, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000%. So at some point, it just becomes like an insurance payment, right? In positions that we can only speculate on, or like with Schwab, I didn't get rid of my downside at all. It just expired worthless. But the amount of money that I made to the upside just made that irrelevant, so.
Okay.
I explained.
So it just covers it at that point. So that's what we were talking yesterday. I think he said 500 and 500. So I didn't take the trade. I'm trying to understand and just watch the charts and everything, just so I know for the future. So when I know what's going on.
Gotcha.
Like on something like this is more of a straddle play, just because it had empty space to the upside and down, and it was right in between for me. So I spent 500 and 500. But the way I played it at open this morning is once it finally gave me a direction, I trimmed down into more of an earnings play. So I went down to 25% of my call. So I got rid of 75% of my puts and just held 25% of it just as a hedge, and didn't trim my calls until just a minute ago.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Thank you.
Anyone else's puts 62 puts for NEE saying $1.02 right now? This is weird. I tried to market sell it.
I
sold them at 2
cents. I sold the 63s, I think is what I sold, and I got right at 15 cents for them this morning.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, so it was. I was lucky.
I decided to hold them just because we had 7 days. I thought if this thing dips hard today, then I might, it might have been safe to keep a few. But
dude, these 74s and 75s are ripping.
Yeah, I got 73s, and they're at 93 cents right now.
Yeah.
And look at that, guys. So I have 5 toast contracts left that just got rid of them. Those went into 0. So you should be proud of yourselves, y'all. We literally get away with murder sometimes here.
Yeah, these 40s are about to go in the money.
I mean, we got 90% of the empty space up above us. So there's no reason to be upset. What a great trade. Disney, somebody asked me about Disney. 111, you're mid punchback on the 4-hour. Te quiero. Yeah, so I mean, you are looking at a potential punchback here. Yeah, you're at a breakout level too. So Disney above 113.60. Now you're not met with like, you still have a immediate resistance right here. So, yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. I mean, today you just need to close above or at cost basis. So. Doesn't have empty space above it, which I like, so. Man, this one, dude, is lacking so much juice. You can just see it in the price action. It curls up like that. I think you're operating in this channel right here, John. So you got to position yourself really well on that.
What about AT&T for Monday, Chef?
Let's see.
It has earnings.
Decent. Earnings is okay. Okay. Yeah. Not my favorite. Doesn't seem like there's back-breaking moves. I mean, that one, but that's all the way in April of 23. So I guess it's really setup based here. This is a song. It's a mixtape. You got me. Sugar so you're looking for, I mean, and I will say, just being honest with you, it doesn't look like it's the most exciting earnings trade that you could take, right? It doesn't really follow through. And something, typically telecommunication companies are not heavily traded, but mostly heavily invested by institutions. So they're tougher to move. But with that being said, you do have a punchback, you do have some empty space, you do have a floor at 23.32, so that could be a potential target to the upside. And at the same time, you bounce off of a cost basis underneath you, so I mean, it could start a waterfall down, where $20 would be the target. So. All right. Oh, there we go.
All this action happened. I didn't get into Planet Labs after it broke.
Which one is that?
TL, Planet Labs.
TL?
P is in.
Oh, P.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I set a box around the 24 and 4 and then had an alert, but there was too much happening with Toast.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, it popped right out. It's got cost basis at 550 here, so. No way Toast is bouncing off of a pre-market box. This is really hard to see. In fact, I'd say almost impossible, but like, that's still a box. Right? That little like speckles of price. And the reason that I can say that, right, is because, look, close, 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 right? Bottom, same thing. It's all at the same price point. Just doesn't have intraday price action, so. Can look at Macy's up. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at whatever it is you guys want me to take a... Nice. Ooh, damn. And then that's it. We're going to come back at the end of the day. We're going to try to do it again going into next week. And we got some big fucking earnings coming next week, so should be exciting. All right.
I got a question for you.
Woo.
Yeah, what's up, boss?
Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still in a downtrend? Is that considered a downtrend?
Yes, sir. So something that has fallen underneath, right? So whenever you break out, that is establishing from sideways action to up. We're in an uptrend. Once something returns underneath that and then continues to break down, that sparks the downtrend. So Apple, yes, I would say, is in
that's the line different. Okay, I see it now.
Right. Now, in the grand scheme of things, if we were to look at Apple on the weekly, of course, right, we're still in an uptrend, and that's going to translate differently on each time frame. So here we're in a weekly channel, but on the 24-hour and the most recent price action, we are in a downtrend, right? On the 4-hour, downtrend. So safe, and it's the 24-hour downtrend that can lead to the break of the weekly, right? Breaking its uptrend, but ooh, DoorDash is open. I can't help myself, dude. I hit these trays. I just want to dash. DoorDash. I see 1565 on Macy's.
I say dash it.
That's what I say too, man. Like that one, just yeah. I mean, you're on your way, dude. That one's gonna go hit that floor there. Grinder. Oh shit. Uppy. Well, this so just like I was just telling him, right? Whenever you break out, you don't want to fall back under that in which you. Let me like this is just. Let me give you the definition, like a definitive statement. I don't take bounces after like if this bounced off the top of the box, cool, let's grind away. But if it drops underneath it, that is my sign to start looking at the potential for downside, because the whole goal is that buyers don't want to let the price fall underneath that. And I saw somebody make that mistake on Tesla. You know, which is fine. Obviously, it was a great learning experience, but it's like there's a reason why we have these tops. These tops need to bounce, and that's why I want my stop loss set there. And if it goes past that, that's where, okay, well, you made a breakout high, and you just lost it, right? Buyers didn't like that price, and so you're gonna start heading down to find those buyers. Now, where are buyers at in a box? Right here. So how it responds to cost basis may be uppies, right? But we have to be sure that we know that this is technically breaking down, because it could not hold what it had already established. Does that make sense? I hope.
Hey, Potter.
Hey.
Hey, can you look at AVGO for me, please? I want to see it close outside of that box that it's in, and then I know you don't like the all-time highs, but get the fuck out of there after that.
I mean, I see a 266 target outside of it, but the thing that's holding you back is here.
Are those wicks?
So it's not so you have even you broke out, right? But you're fighting the structure that's up above you currently. So I think right now is actually a good time to do this, right? Remember what I just said about Tesla and that other stock, right? Whenever you break something, you don't want to fall back underneath it, and that's what you're seeing right now. Is buyers are trying to show, we like this price, this is fine, but if there's not enough of them, they're going to lose traction. They're going to fall back down. Now, what happens out of that, if it happens at all in one candle, or maybe it wicks down really quick, maybe you have a bounce. Maybe you have that potential to reverse and move back up. So when we can't do anything else with the setup that we're watching, we have to keep moving down till we can find something, right? So now we can start to see, okay, well, you bounced off. Look at that. Top of the red candle, the most recent price action. Tap right off of it. You're trying to hold that floor. 5 minute, right? Okay, that little red candle just turned into a box, and that's what you just bounced off of, right? Now I can't see much here, so I'll go down to the 3. Small box, right? Pop up, and then you just have the this isn't a box, it's just a high. It could be a box, but I don't know if I want to go all the way to the 1. It is a box, actually. Yeah, so 1 minute, tiny baby box, 248.75. So just real quick, I hope everybody watched that. I did what was necessary to find how, like, we're at the wall. So when I take you to the 24-hour, what can you do? There's no stop loss available there. 4 hour. What can you do? Nothing. You can just see where it's at. 2 hour. Okay, now we're starting to pick up on more details. We're pulling back to the structure that we punched through from in the first place, right? But what's underneath us and how do we hold? Okay, hourly. Cool, candle's holding up, it's bouncing. But what are we bouncing off of? 15 minute. Okay, now we got a red candle underneath us, right? 5 minute. Okay, now that's a box. So our downside signal to move through that empty space that we created today is 244. Now I can set a stop loss. Now I feel better about what I'm doing, right? Now I can see my floor at 246. That's what we're holding. That's what we're trying to pull out, like literally right now as we speak. Then I move to the 3 minute. Okay, that's why it's struggling. It's a box. It's a small box, but it's a box. It's trying to reclaim the floor for 3 candles in a row. Look at us go.
I was kind of like telling myself that if it closes above 246, then I'd swing over the weekend. That's I'm trying to like discipline myself not to
For
take
sure.
it to the end of the day though.
If you can, I mean, there's going to be situations where maybe it moves during the day and you can't, but and that's where you will use the lower time frame. But as a rule of thumb, yeah, you know, if it closes outside of the wall, then yeah, I would say that that's a break. So.
And then one other thing, I've been kind of running into this that I kind of box myself crazy. How do you identify what's, you know, like I could put this in a box or this is too many boxes or
Everything should be in the most recent price action, right? So this box right here that we haven't touched since we left it, relevant. And it's relevant even if 5 years go by and we just keep ripping and all sorts of crazy shit happens and then eventually you come back down and break this floor, that's still the target, right? But this isn't. None of this price action is, right? Let's see. That box technically would still be relevant because you bounced off a cost basis twice. But now one thing that you can do is like, okay, and this it probably isn't a good example, but you can box out like what's underneath you and what's above you. And that's really all that's relevant, right? You don't need to go and like place boxes everywhere. And then one thing will help is make sure that when you do place your boxes, you have them separated. You don't want your hourly box to show up on your 24 hour. Your chart's going to get messy. You're going to get confused. So remember this, for most recent price action above and below you. Anything that's happened before those candles and its price has already moved through it, typically you're going to, not typically, but that means that it's already that volume, because we're trying to take advantage of the volume that's packed in the boxes. When price moves through it, we're using that volume to get where we're trying to go. So that volume has been drawn out and price in the most recent price action is adjusted to the structure. So you're just looking at the most recent price action. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. The thing that you said that really helped me is like I can't let the 1 hour box affect my 24-hour box.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what kind of I get into, I think.
There you go. Yeah. So remember, you know, on the hourly, we're just looking at how does that 24 hour, like maybe we're in a box like AVGO. Okay. Whatever we see here, all of this, we don't need to see the box on the hourly, right? We could get rid of it. We just need to know, like right now, if you're watching it, you just need to hold above that, right? You just punch through it, but you would still need to hold above it. And so that would, if failed, right, the most recent price action here shows that there's nothing underneath you. And so if those lower time frames triggers are fired, you're coming back down. So yeah, just keep those separate and you'll find yourself with a cleaner chart. Try to clean it. Yeah, no problem. Try and clean up your chart, you know, every day. But just delete the shit that's no longer relevant. How do you adjust settings? So I believe it's been a minute. I believe you double click on it and then visibility, right? And you're going to click on what time frame you want it relevant on. So in this time frame, I don't want it on the weekly, the daily. I want it only on the hourlies, 1 to 24. Now, I hate that it's like this. Because that's one thing I liked about Trend Spider was whenever you put a box down on the 5, it doesn't show up anywhere else. But Yeah.
I wanted to say that I've been using the 12-hour chart, and it's honestly pretty sexy just because it's like it looks so clear
Yeah.
for some reason.
So
it's real nice. I know you talked about it a little bit.
So there's actually an interesting thing that I found a long time ago. The reason that I use the 2 hour. I was trading JMIA a long time ago, and I was going through the chart, and every time frame looked, I mean, from the hourly to the 30 to the 4 to the 24-hour, just looked bad. And I was like, I was exploring different time frames, and so I moved to the 2 hour. All of a sudden, JMIA looked crystal clear, and I was like, okay. Different stocks move with different volume and adhere to better to certain time frames. And so there's going to be situations, and yeah, I implore all of you to be exploratory with the time frames that you're using. You know, the 3 minute was not a now it is, but the 3 minutes was not a popular time frame to trade on for a while. But what it did was give us the middle ground between the 1 and the 5. That's why we liked it.
Yeah, like if I'm on the 4, I like to use the 2. If I'm on 24-hour, I like to use 12.
Yeah. Yep. Oh. Do you do weekend lives? Yeah. Yeah, when empty space is eaten up. Now, how that empty space is eaten up matters, right? Because if it rips fast, it'll come down fast. If it rips fast, comes down fast, and then bounces to go right back up, you'll find that the third time going through the same empty space, you'll build volume in it. That's like one of those little things. It's kind of hard to remember, but it's like once you've moved, like say you literally, dump fast, then you bounce fast. That third move down, even though it's empty space, will move a little bit slower. It's trying to put volume in that empty space so that it doesn't need to come back and fill it. AstraZeneca is building an hourly box on top. Ooh, yeah. I still see a target of $70 on AstraZeneca, so. Potter, I also like that you keep reminding us, keep going down the time frames until you find structure. I don't know why that's been so helpful. I find it useful to zoom in and out to remind myself, okay, this is how we're moving in regards. So yeah, yep. You're just zooming in to figure out, where do we fall, and sometimes you can't see that on the time frame that you're using. I think we're really good. We've, just as a community have gotten really good about being fluid, and we are a very small percentage of the market who, like, this is actually mind-blowing to me. We're a really small percentage of people who use top-down analysis. There's not a lot of people out there who start on the higher time frames and move down, and they don't connect those time frames. Like an hourly setup is the setup. There's no higher time frame bias. Like sometimes there is, but there's not a lot of people doing 24 4 hourly, 2 hour, 30-minute, hourly, trying to basically break down and chop up and find, okay, where do I need to get in? Where do I need to get out? So. When empty space is filled with more empty space, is that price considered empty space in the future? So that's what I was just saying. That oftentimes, like, okay, so let me use this as a live example. Okay. This is one of those small things I don't really talk about enough, but it just doesn't happen enough. But you dump fast. Okay, somebody can't draw a straight line. So you dump fast, right? Now let's say instead of stuttering like you are, you pop straight the fuck back up and you hit 1995, right? It wicks out a little bit and then falls. On its way down, right, after floors are lost and you have nothing but empty and then empty here, right? This move is going to respond to everything. It's going to bounce off that floor. It's going to bounce off a lower time frame structure. And what it wants to do, right, is it wants to fill. So you'll find a big dump, big pop, chop, right? And that's how those rangers are created. You pop down, you retest, and you chop. And so the third time and it's not, it doesn't happen a lot, so it's not super relevant. But it's something that I have studied enough and seen enough where I'm like, okay, I get it. You're going to chop down instead of just flushing down. And again, if I was to do that where I left empty space like that, and you just keep that would just be an area that you just keep ripping through. And market makers institutions, we're not going to have that. So we're going to fill that volume up, right? And that's what trend looks like, right? Is like you move up, and this isn't trending, right? But you move up, big rip up. Oh, come on, motherfucker. And then when you come back down, right? Like I said, you're going to respond to that floor. You're going to bounce because you fell quick. You're going to build, right? If you break down, you're going to fall, maybe hit your balance, immediately reverse, which makes it really tough to play. So on those reversals where you go to test the floor, that creates the new range. And typically you'll find yourself stair-stepping down. Ooh. Let's go take a look at the free chat. What's any gains today? Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm done. I don't feel the need to do anything else except for wait till the end of the day again.
Agree, sir. I'm already ahead of you.
Yep.
Yeah, go play video games or
I'm editing.
edit, whatever. I should show everybody that game I was playing last night. That shit was brutal.
Was you just playing squads, or was that before I was?
I was playing half sword.
Oh
Yeah, the
my
game's fucking
god!
awesome.
Yeah, that game is intense. Yeah, real quick, if you guys are on YouTube, today is the last day for 35%. We're not doing it anymore. I let it run. I kind of forgot about it. So, yeah, today is the last day. But I'm gonna go ahead and vacate off of YouTube. I'll hang out in the chat for a little bit. Yeah, I hope you guys were able to get some profit off of Toast. That was a great trade, easy trade, straightforward trade. If you do have 3950s, yeah, hold them, I guess. I don't know.
Would you like take the toast trade again because it still has that same space up, or that rejection like threw you off?
Yeah, the rejection. I'm not going to trade that anymore. I'm done. Throw it in the trash. It doesn't make the same amount of sense as it did when it took off. So one thing I try not to double tap, right? Like when I hit a trade like Toast, like this done. I don't say. I mean, maybe even the only way that could happen is this 4-hour candle bounced and then turned green again. Then maybe
hit it and quit it.
But how much? Like, okay, so one of the reasons why this was such a good trade to me was because even if we didn't hit our target, I knew we would be up crazy, which we weren't. That empty space is mostly filled. I'm done. Ball it up, throw it in the trash. I mean, I'm a stock market whore. I don't stick with anybody. I'm running through them all. So I don't. Yeah, once I don't double dip. Empty space is over. Move on. Next play. I want everything to look like that. And I think a lot of you guys, had even somebody DM me last night. Like, a lot of you guys are picking up on this. Like, especially newer people, obviously. That once that play is done and we got that big rip through the empty space like we wanted, that was what we wanted. So there's nothing else I can pull out of that. The only other plays that are relevant now, right, are a punchback over 43, which would drive us into the channel, right? That is here. But I don't need to. I don't even need to speculate on that right now. But what's up?
I was gonna say, like, same thing with the Nike play. I do recall this from last year. It's like we slapped it, we made our money.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of other members were like, "Well, what if we took it here? What if this?" To me, I mean, I touched it ever since we played it.
And I think that's something that everybody in here should take into account, right? And it's not everybody does it, right? Play takes off, you're not in it, and you're like, how do I get in? That's FOMO. I want you guys to just be real with yourselves. If you're trying to get into something that we already took, FOMO. Stop. That is, and you are not going to like it, but you're going to have to do it. Period. It's not going to feel good to watch it, but I think everything is mindset, right? If I watch somebody else win, I can either take that as and this is just how I break it down, but it's like I can either take that as like, oh man, like fuck, I wasn't in this one, or oh man, these people are hitting fucking huge trades. So if I wait and look for the next one with everybody else, right? Results are bound to move in the direction that you're looking for. But for me, like let me just bring up Hershey's. Because I traded Hershey's. I don't know if you guys remember. This was a long time ago. I think Cade traded this with me and two or three other people. We looked like this. Right? Literally. Widowy. So going into earnings, right? Earnings was right here. I spotted empty space at a box. Right? That's what I wanted. Earnings didn't move. So when we opened up, it was at the same price it was the previous day, which means that everybody was in those contracts are going to be selling them to get out. This drops the IV extremely fast. And so in a moment's notice, I was like, okay, well, because it didn't move at all, it's probably going to move now. 9 times out of 10, that's going to happen. So above this, and this might be I think this was probably maybe my second time ever touching Hershey's. I don't even like chocolate, but that ripped, went through the empty space. I have not touched Hershey's since. Empty space, throw it in the trash. I am here to suck up whatever's in the empty space and leave. It's just the way I'm wording it, okay? But that is, if everybody had that mindset where they're like, and this is again why I'm so adamant on like, I don't care about these companies. They don't care about me. I'm here to fucking pull the loot out and dip. To bank robbery. I get the money in the empty space. Now, okay, maybe it's A&F, right? And it takes a multitude of days. What the fuck?
I don't want to run it. The Toast 3950s are up like 340%.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, let's see if we get that full pullback. Yo, Schwab is moving again.
I took Google short when it rejected 200 again.
Wait, what the fuck? A&F.
Potts, you should make that like one of the things for the TikTok. You and the Harry Potter thing with like a robbery mask on, going after the ETFs. Like, give me your money.
Yeah, I'll run that through ChatGPT as a prompt. Why does A&F look like this?
Yeah, it looks like they manipulated the chart.
Yeah, but it's not the same chart.
It's totally not. Yeah, there's no way it's on that.
That's not what I have on A&F. You did something to the chart or something, some setting.
Is it ADJ?
Maybe. Where's the adjust button?
Is it your replay?
Oh, yeah. That is my replay, huh? There you go. That was fucking wild. I tricked myself. But if you look at A&F, right? Empty space, it took 4 days. Hit cost basis, I didn't touch it again. I still haven't. I mean, this is how I stay profitable, is I'm just looking for empty space. Schwab, you know, and I think the cool thing is I can go back and look at all of my trades and go look at the chart that I took them off of. They all look the same. Every single one of them. It's not hard. It's not overthinking. It pops out of the fucking screen at me, and it's like, take me. And I take it. And we dance, and we sing, and we eat, and then I never talk to her again. I just leave. She's heartbroken, but I have all the money.
Take notes.
That's another one for Chat GPT. Harry Potter with rose in his mouth, dancing with the ETFs.
I need you to start writing these. I need you to start writing these prompts down, dude.
Bro, I just literally like saw it as you were saying it.
But I mean, it's cool to even go look back at my own trades, because I can in a moment I can tell you exactly why I did what I did. You know, where I took it, where I got out, and why I would do it again. You know, so.
Hey, Poppy, what's the discount code?
It is like a bunch of random numbers. It's like J something. I don't know. I'm terrible at this. Hold on. Let me go find it.
TikTok 35.
No, it's not. It doesn't work, Ivy. That code doesn't work. You have to post the other code. That the JI. Yeah, here, I'll post it. Yeah, Ivy, this is the code that. I don't know why. Every time I give the code a name, it doesn't work. There.
I was gonna say, are we screwed for the lifetime people then?
Are you screwed? What do you mean you screwed?
Yeah, because we're lifetime, so we can't get discounts.
What do you want a discount for your lifetime, dude? What the fuck?
What?
I know you've made your money back.
Bro, he's Mexican. He's always gonna want a discount.
Hey man, I'm Mexican. What do you think?
Right? They always looking for the best deals, bro.
You know, just because of that, I'm gonna go to a Mexican restaurant today, and I'm gonna speak broken Spanish to the waiter.
Nah, you gotta order DoorDash Mexican.
Listen, it always makes me cringe when some Karen's like, "Oh, hola, mi familia, queso." I'm like, nah, man. Like, just talk to this person. Like, people do that in restaurants, and it makes me want to shrink and just turn into a ball, die.
Fucking translator, bitch.
Yeah. Let's see. Where is Potters for the Streets? MA Wall Streets. I am on the empty space hole. 537.26. That's all you're looking for, bro. You need that to be closed up against. It looks good. It's mid punch back. It's on its way. Obviously, where you set your stop loss is the most important thing here. So. Oh yeah, toast. Damn, toasty. So this weekend, you know, and this afternoon, I'm looking for the same thing I looked at, for, you know, for toast, and I want you guys. The better you guys get at it, the better we all get overall. Seriously, like the better that everybody gets, the more charts that are put in front of me that have empty space. And here's something that sometimes, you know, it's worth the speculation. But one of the reasons that I don't like go and seek out a scanner is because I typically just stick within a pocket of stocks, you know, maybe like 150 stocks altogether. But the one thing that I know is that they're going to move. It's not a doubt, right? Like, oh, this one just has trash volume all the time. It kind of, fuck that, right? If I feel weird about it at all, and I'm like, if there's not even a speculative bone where I'm like, I mean, it could, but it just doesn't have the volume. It doesn't show, like, that's where I just let it go. And I miss trades because of that, but I don't regret it because I hit the trades that I want to take with the setups that I want. And that's discipline, right? I know other things work. I know there's room to speculate, but I also have nothing to fall back on if I don't make it, like if I don't make my trades and so it is a, what can I do to continue to stay consistent, keep making money? And that's by sticking with what makes the most sense to me personally, but because we're all using the same strategy, it's inevitable that if I show you Schwab, everybody should understand why we're taking that trade. If I show you Nike, if I show you Mara, if I, all of these trades that we've taken, they all have the same attributes: box, punchback, break, candle close outside, empty spaces above. We're taking it from point A to point B. That's it. And if you keep that right there and you say, that's my job, right? You're the boss, but and that's the thing, is like, this is one thing that will tell you whether or not you have discipline issues, is when you're alone. Like right now, there's probably, a handful of people in here today that bought a bunch of random shit and touched stuff they shouldn't have, right? And they know damn well that they did. But knowing, like, that.
Can you see my screen? Are you watching what I'm doing?
I saw that. No shit.
Yeah, he's talking to me.
Bro, why you
days
calling
ago,
me out, bro? Damn.
Hiding my losses from pots.
Exactly.
Right.
But
You should have a loss page.
a bad decision page.
There we go.
No, we used to. We used to have that.
Yeah,
but
I literally do not.
Yeah,
I
but
see that page.
Zebo kept filling it up.
I was the top poster, yeah.
Me and Zebo.
I unsubscribed.
We should have a page where if you sell short, you gotta fucking post it.
Yeah,
People
right.
started complaining that they were getting depressed looking at my losses.
Weighing the whole chat down, dude.
Off box loss page.
The off box loss page.
They're like, damn, that makes up for the whole gains page. What's going on here?
You might actually get more subscribers that way because they're like, oh, these dudes actually do lose.
I mean, I don't want people to think that we don't, but when it doesn't work out, it's usually a setup that even if in the same scenario, I'll take again. But what I do want people to see and know is, like, yeah, there is other people in here who are making bad decisions, but that is, so, like, knowing the facts, knowing, like, this is what, like, I think about. It's like, the facts. You see every day when you see people post these type of gains, right? Every week, every month, you see the results of taking trades that make sense. And so when you think about it logically, right, doing anything else but that is putting yourself back in the same old situation that you were in the first place. Unknowing, not unsure, the fear, the anxiety. That's why your trades, like TOST, how did that feel? You want to feel like that every day? I do. Like, seriously, it almost makes me, like, tear up in some of these mornings where I see the whole vibe, the whole, like, oh, we wake up every morning, we get our trade plan together at 5:30, we watch pre-market, and then we wait for the bell to open, we plan our entries, we take our trade here, our stop loss is right here on the 5-minute, and a 5-minute candle closes and invalidates it, and then the 5-minute candle invalidates their trade, bounces off a floor underneath them, and screams back up to the target that they wanted in the first place. There's so much that I can admit that I'm just not good enough. I can't and don't want to do that. I don't want to show up every day. I don't want to put myself into situations that we collect. In my opinion, we collect liquidity during the day a lot of the times to move it overnight. So waking up and taking my play at the end of the day, my only job is to go to sleep, to live my life. I wake up in the morning and I know whether I was wrong or whether I was right. Within the first hour of the day, We can generally come to a conclusion, okay, here's where we don't want to go, here's where we do. That is so much less stressful. And so some of you guys, your lack of discipline is stressing you out. And then what does a stressed out trader do? Not what they're supposed to do. They're constant. They overtrade. They react. They're emotional, right? Because you're making it hard on yourself. The only thing you have to do is don't. That's it. Don't do it. And if you are struggling with that, find other people who are struggling with that and create an accountability chat. Like,
it's harder to do. You know, I know that you have more experience, so it's easier for you to say just don't do it. But sometimes, it's fucking hard, bro.
It is hard, man. You're fighting every instinct in your body
to not fucking do it.
Exactly.
And sometimes you hear everybody saying, "Oh, I just did this. I just made 100. I made 400%, 600%, 1,000%." It's like, fuck, I want some too. But you get in that bitch and you're like, I'm negative 30%. What the fuck?
Exactly. But and I think how you interpret that, right? I think the question that comes after watching somebody else make money is, how'd you do that? What'd you see in that trade? Have them explain it. Most people in here will walk you through why they took that trade. And so if you can gain an understanding from that, right? It's like, okay, I'm looking at, instead of me chasing and wanting that feeling right now, that's instant gratification. We want it right now. I want that too. But the reality is, if they're up 500% and you're getting in, good luck. And here's the bad thing. Every once in a while, you'll get away with it. You'll buy something at a chase and it'll work and you'll make your money. And then some people will even be like, well, look at that. You know, it's like, okay, cool. Call me the next 3 times you do that. Because one of those next 3 times is going to be the last time. Period. Because sometimes when you rip fast, you fall fast. And what's scarier than a big ass red candle with no floor underneath it? But you can either be
nothing.
Yeah. You can either be motivated by what you see and use that the right way. And again, I know that there's a lot to unpack with what I say. I know that me just saying don't do it doesn't stop, right? It doesn't make you feel less impulsive. But having an understanding of what you're doing, right, should make you feel guilty. It should make you feel bad. And we don't want to feel bad. So humans usually, when they feel uncomfortable, will shy away from these things. So either you're just going to, and again, I think a sense of awareness or even just admittance, I am being undisciplined. I talk to myself out loud like a legitimate crazy person. I've now, I've been in my office for 5 years, damn near, but like, I get to the point where it's like me saying something out loud, like, oh no, I'm not doing that. Like me saying it rather than just me just sitting there not internalizing all of this, it helps. But also, I mean, new people struggle with this, and that's because perspective. We're lacking perspective, right? Sometimes you just haven't seen it happen enough. You're still carrying on with the old stuff that you did. So eventually you're going to find yourself in an area where you're so uncomfortable that you have to change, or your account's not there anymore. And if you come back, you have to. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have been like, dude, I just fucking took away all my gains. I'm never doing that again. And then they do better. Pain is a great teacher, unfortunately, and that's not something that I can always implement. I can tell you what to do, or how I'm operating, or what I'm thinking about, and how I would go about this. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm giving you the knowledge that you're going to use the next time that you try to chase. Hopefully you hear my voice or your own, and you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't. But
Hey, Potter.
Yeah, what's up?
I wish I had.
Sorry to interrupt. Could you look at GM? It has earnings on Tuesday, and I think you'd like it.
The only thing I didn't really care for is the fact that it's a hit or miss. So like here, we didn't really respond until after. Here, you responded. Here you responded, and that's a move from 48 to 53, 54. So that's a $4 move. Earnings decent, but you don't go anywhere. So when I look at this, the positives in this chart are that it is in consolidation. So that tension's set to potentially break. You have a thin box underneath or above you at 55.75. And if that could be bounced or pushed through, I don't think you make it all the way, just because I'm looking at the usual earnings, and as unconventional as this may be, a lot of the times I'll steal because on average, if you look at this candle and that candle, they move around the same. But like, I look at the potential here, and it's like, okay, well, maybe we just end up right up at the top. Right at that green candle at 58.59. So that's what I see potentially happening off of this earnings.
But you don't like it because it doesn't like always move as well as you would like it to, essentially?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's really what matters from this point, man, is what the contracts look like, right? What are contracts at the $60 and $59 strike look like? Are they 12 cents? Okay, that's all right, right? That's where you could put a small amount down and still reap the reward. But
they're like 30.
Yeah, I think the lack of consistency on it is part of it. So,
thank you.
Yep.
And sorry for a beginner question, but what do you think of that like little W that it has down there? Like, what does that kind of tell you?
That to me, man, is just descriptive of max tension, right? Which means that, or what is saying 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? So I know that more than likely going into this earnings, whether it's the day after or the following days after, this breaks. That breaks. That's what that tells me. Now, I know for many folks, this would be your quintessential double bottom, right? Where you bounce off of the bottom twice. And so, yeah, I would say being up against this and not losing anything going into earnings does put you in a position to potentially shoot up and out. I would lean more upwards towards this one. Now, it is coming off of a rejection, so, maybe you just dump into the box and stay at 49. But for me, that just lets me know that there is movement coming. When I see a box like that.
Wayfair? I'm
sure.
sorry.
They're right.
Can you look at Wayfair? It looks like it has empty space
it does.
above it. And it's finally...
It's fighting an imbalance. I don't know if you can see that. You're like 50%, literally 50% of the way from here to here. So that's what you're fighting on the 24 hours. You're in balance. And that imbalance, let's see, is that hitting the floor? That sure is. So there you go. The chart, once again, is telling you exactly what it needs to do, right? It needs 49.88. Period. If that's punched through, you have pretty thin volume to move up. Like there's not empty space, but it's also not chock full of boxes. So I would be looking for a punch over 40 or 50-40 or 50-50. Fuck. All right. Yeah, the code for oh no, that's a candle. I don't know where I posted it. Ivy, yeah, if you'll re-announce that with the right one whenever you get a chance.
Actually, they're both.
They work now?
Yeah, they're both working.
Oh, damn.
It just didn't get accepted because he used a capital letter.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Can you look at Costco?
Sure. Interesting. So you went up, you tapped cost basis, but you haven't fallen. which says something. Okay, so you're awaiting a punchback. You don't have really super clear empty space up above you, but I mean, this is empty space on the 24 hour. So the 4 hours where we solved this problem, right? And it looks like you've retested the floor here at 946, so that needs to be recovered. But ultimately, this, and that's actually what you're fighting to get back up above right now, like right now. So there's two scenarios here that I see on Costco. A, because you can't get that floor. Buyers don't want it. They're going to go find where buyers are. Buyers are down here, and there's a sneaky little resistance underneath you, double wicks at 933. So I would say 933 and 926 if it's unable to do that. If it's able to do it, it's going to do it over 950.
Mara and Coin look like they're setting up maybe.
And have you looked at Lyft just kind of on the radar for earnings in like 2 weeks?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I do like this. Can anybody? I want somebody to tell. Can everybody see this? That's my question. Can everybody see why I would take this? Is there anybody who doesn't? Good. If everybody here knows why I would take this.
I don't know why.
You don't know why? Okay, so
It's the same setup as yesterday almost.
it is almost identical, right? I'm going to ask you the questions, all right? Whoever said that. What's that?
Empty space.
Empty space, right? What's this?
That's the top of the box.
Right? That's 3. Now, what happens when we hit the top typically? What do sellers want to do?
Bring it down.
Bring it down. They want it to come
Slap it
back
down.
here, but they haven't. So what does that do to sellers?
Push them out.
It can push them out, right? So we go to the 4 hour. Now we see the wall and we're up against it. So if it holds, what does that mean sellers are not doing when they're supposed to?
Job.
Their fucking job. So they get fired. Then we look up to our left and I see, okay, on this lower time frame, that empty space does chop, and we have a first immediate target here. And that's 2163 or 63 and $22 flat. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. I made a trade yesterday off the
So
floor.
Mara $22 calls.
Yeah. What you made a trade off the floor where?
Off that like there was a 4 hour box forming, and then it broke out, and maybe I just wasn't patient enough because there's not a lot of open space. But I took it off that 4 hour green candle yesterday, just for a close today at 2050, and it's up. But I maybe jumped the gun a little bit.
What was that ticker?
No, off Mara right there.
Oh, you did. Got you.
That 4 hour close, like if you go to the 4 hour boxes, that stacked up a few of them there, and then it broke out, and so I took that. Just, I mean, small position, but up to 2050 for today.
Ooh, look at this.
Yeah, don't we have empty space all the way up to 24?
On the 24 hour, yes, but there is a green candle here at 2163. Now, the potential behind this play, and this is what we have to consider, right? Because this is where runners become really important. If by chance, because we know that Mara, I mean, look at Mara. I mean, it fucking, look at this gap up. Actually, hold on. Look. What are sellers supposed to do at the wall? And what do they not do? That equals that. Right? So when I look at that, and then I go to the hourly, and I see that we're 1 box away, cool. Call me at the end of the day, as long as we don't break. I'll take it. Now, is it, and this is the last question, is it officially triggered?
No, it hasn't broke the floor.
No, it hasn't broken the floor.
Right. The candle has not closed outside of it. So if it stays there, I have to add some speculation or take a little bit of risk off the table. I'm not going to go heavy into something like this unless it triggers, right? i.e. toast, right? At the end of the day, we were here, right, flat, trigger already fired, box already punched. And then by the end of the day, we were already up 109% because it started ripping and officially closed outside of the box. And we see the result, right, of what happens when sellers don't do their job. Now, you know what also is really cool when I look at this chart? When you set your stop losses at the right place, that's why. See that bounce right off the top? That's why we want our stop losses to be at the top or the floor or cost basis. Sometimes cost basis isn't as clear, but no, I'm not necessarily hold on. I'm not necessarily going to wait for the candle to close. What I'm waiting for is to see whether or not sellers push Mara back down. If they don't, one overnight movement and we're here. Easy as that. 2160 and 22. So, what were you saying? Sorry.
So at the same time I mentioned Mara, I was watching Coin too, because it almost looks like it wants to reclaim that floor, right? So would you be concerned of your box is in a little bit different spot. Mine's on the 4-hour too, but maybe my box was a little bit higher.
Where do you have your box at?
I was looking at that reclaiming the floor. It looked like I kind of tapped that where that wick is.
Got you.
That's the bottom of my floor. But would you be looking for a reclaim of that floor for strength into Mara too? Just or not really.
You know, this and I will tell you, Coin, Riot, Mara, while they do move to, you know, mostly together, they don't always move at the same time. So you might have you might even consider that Coin has already made its empty space fill and now is kind of stalling. But in terms of a play, right, you're seeing how price action is responding to volume above you. And that's where, yeah, there's a little bit of weakness here. So like, would I be worried? I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you're above the box that you need to be above, right? So I wouldn't take a position on this one necessarily because it just doesn't have empty space. The only empty space that Coin provides is in this small 2-hour pocket right here. And that's going to be achieved by punching through this, which you're still trying to get to. So this one is not so like literally that one, no. This one, yes. I can trade that. So
One I just have on my radar is Lyft. It doesn't have as much empty space, but earnings coming up. And so just curious what you think are some points to mark out.
So immediately it pops out to me that 1450 is going to get hit. That seems inevitable at this point. I mean, even just looking at, you know, the fact that you have empty space up to that top, the fact that that was the wall previously, so that's going to be, and you're there now. So, you know, looking at it with taking all this away, and this is again where the speculation on this begins, if it can pop out of that 1460, I have no doubt that 1550 would get hit. So I don't hate it. It's not bad at all. I think it's coming off of right around cost basis. So yeah, let's go see the 2-hour. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. So I think you're on your way. You'll probably be there at 1430 before earnings. And when is that? Earnings is next week, you said?
It's on February 5th. So there's February 7th contracts, you know, just kind of keep an eye on
them. I don't hate it. And I think, well, wow. Okay. So that same wall I just showed you on the 24-hour is in confluence with your downtrend. So the most I can give you right now is 1450. as a for sure. If you can move up there before earnings, which I think you might, I'm pretty sure you will, then that volume is going to be used at resistance and gives you a higher probability of moving out. And there is pockets of empty space that make this interesting. So 1550 and then maybe up to 16.
So that 1450 is just a good spot. Like it's might consolidate there. Otherwise, got to have a ton of momentum, and that's probably only coming from earnings.
Right.
And then it could get kind of interesting with how quickly it goes, and yeah, if it follows what Uber does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have earnings on the same date.
Cool. All right.
I'm not sure if anybody took AMD, but I'm up 450%.
Hey, Garrett, can you take a quick look at Shopify?
I took it late. I'm up 150.
Right? Yeah. It's hard to see this thing not going and filling this up. The only other resistance I see is here. I mean, it looks good, but a little slow right now. So maybe a little build would be nice on this box.
Can you look at McDonald's?
110.60 though. That would be my first target there on Shopify. But on earnings, I could see that going straight to resistance at 113. You said what target or what?
McDonald's.
Oof. Damn.
Looks like a seismogram.
Looks like an unhappy mail.
Earthquake, motherfucker.
Seriously. Looks like one. Oh.
Am I off, Garrett? But to me, Shopify looks better though.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks good, especially going into earnings.
Better what? I mean, looking at McDonald's and Shopify.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, comparatively, yeah. No, McDonald's offers very little. 288 is the floor, and then from there, this is actually a box that contains. You would find that on a lower time frame, but yeah, there's a lot that has to happen here, and I don't see a play. It's again, that's the empty space. That's what I would have wanted to trade, and it already did it. So right now, I just see a retest up to that floor at 288. So I mean, if that's worth your risk to reward, sure. But I don't. That's what I see now, and it's leaving the box at 284.75. So yeah, I think you're gonna go and retest this floor. So. All right, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and step off. Feed my chickens. They've been stuck in their coop for like 3 days because of snow. They don't like to go outside. But another really good day. This week has been really good. Fucking pretty stoked about earnings season next week, which is what we're going to be focusing on at the end of the day. So swings in the next week and earnings trades. But otherwise, yeah, this is good live. A lot of questions. Good questions. Good trades. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a good afternoon. don't get sucked into these lower time frames. If somebody else pops on and they say I'm up this much, that's not relevant to you, unless you took it. And just stay disciplined, All right, guys. You guys have a good afternoon. I'll see you at 3:00.
Thank you, Potter.
No problem.
Later, Pots.
Thanks, bro.
See you, y'all.
Later, P.
See you, bro.